Miss America 2018. How the pageant went from Boardwalk curiosity to national tradition. Since 1921, the Miss America pageant, with the exception of a few years in between, has called Atlantic City home. At first, pageant hopefuls were called bathing beauties. Later, they became contestants with talents and advocates with platforms. Along the way, pageant rules became more stringent and exclusive, were repealed, rolled back, and instituted again. She may have represented the feminist idea, but Miss America has always had her own scandals. There were milestones too, including makers of change, though some signs of progress lagged years behind contemporary society. As Miss America 2018 ramps up in Atlantic City, the pageant airs live from Boardwalk Hall on September 10th. Here's a look at the new Thursday's pageant over the last 96 years. In 1921, the beginnings of Miss America can be found in the Intercity Beauties program organized by newspapers. These 8 representatives won a trip to the Florida, a happening designed to boost business on the boardwalk in Atlantic City as summer drew to a close. The original. Also in 1921, Margaret Gorman of Washington, D.C. becomes what is later in 1922 known as Miss America after he triumphed in both the Intercity Beauty Contest and the Butters River, winning a Golden Mermaid. No married woman. In 1924, after Miss Boston and a contestant from a previous year are found to be married, the pageant starts prohibiting married women from entering Miss America. Feature is Ruth Markham-son, Miss Philadelphia, wins the pageant this year. In 1925, Miss America meets its own 20th amendment. Mary Catherine Campbell, Miss Columbus, representing Ohio, won Miss America in both 1922 and 1923, but in 1925, the same year that the pageant is first broadcast live on radio, the rules change so that a previous winner cannot complete. In 1926, Norma Smallwood of Tulsa becomes the first contestant of Native American heritage to win the pageant, crowned by the King Neptune. Perhaps because of the later repeal of a rule that stipulated contestants must be white. Other pageant historians hold that in 1941, Miss Oklahoma, Miffoni Shelton-Toner, also becomes the first Native American contestant to compete. Cancelled. In 1928, Miss America is shut down after women's groups and churches criticized the pageant, and a newspaper story alleged that the competition is fixed. A scaled-down pageant returns in 1933 during the Great Depression, but is not a success. Other copycat pageants emerged in the 30s, but the pageant ultimately returns again in 1935 with an added talent portion that became a requirement in 1938. The Runaway Miss America 1937. Betty Cooper, a contestant from Hickory and D, who competed as Miss Bajan Island after entering the competition on a day that the now defunct amusement park, runs away with her escort after winning the crowd. She apparently didn't want to win and wishes only to return home and go to college instead of cashing in on a vaudeville contract. No divorcees or married women. In 1938, Miss America again bans married women, but also women who were previously married, divorced women, and women who had married annulled. Contestants must also be from 18 to 28 years old. The age limit was later changed to 24 years old as long as the contestant doesn't turn 25 before the end of the year. In 1940, Miss America dropped Rule 7, which specified that contestants had to be of good health and of the white race. Prior to this, contestants had to provide a detailed accounting of their ancestry. It would be nearly 30 years before the pageant would see a black contestant. Feature is Miss America 1940, Frances Booker. In 1945, Bess Meyerson, who was pressured to compete under a different last name, Bedden, becomes the first Jewish Miss America and the first winner to receive a scholarship from the pageant. In the face of anti-Semitism, Meyerson embraced the message, "You can't be beautiful and hate," which acts as quite a foreigner to what would later become a pageant platform. Mandatory bikinis and the bikini ban. Between 1947 and 1948, as bikinis started becoming fashionable in 1947, Miss America requires contestants to wear two-piece bathing suits. The very next year, bikinis are banned in favor of a mandatory black and white striped cable-knit swimsuit. Feature is Barbara Jo Rucker, Miss America 1947, the last Miss America to be crowned in a swimsuit. Thereafter, contestants would be crowned in their evening gowns. In 1948, the third Asian and Latina contestants, Miss Hawaii, Juntao Jane, and Miss Puerto Rico, Irma Nidia Valkyrie, entered the competition. Batsui Flap. In 1950, today the pageant is known for its bathing suit shot, but Yolanda Bertazzi, Miss America 1951, in this year, the pageant started posting winners for the following year, refused to pose in a swimsuit for Catalina Swimwear, cursing the sponsor to drop the pageant and start another pageant, Miss Universe, which later produced Miss USA. Donald Trump bought the pageant in 1996 and sold it in 2015. No marriage. 1951, Barbara Jo Rucker, Miss America 1947, got married during her reign, something that would now not only be a taboo but also disallowed. In the year that Colleen Hutchins became a Miss America 1952, Miss Americas were barred from getting married during the time wearing the crown. A TV tradition is born. In 1954, Miss America is broadcast on TV for the first time, drawing a whopping 27 million viewers. Future Catwoman Lee Meriwether wins the 1955 crown. In 1959, Miss America bans stripteasers after Mary Ann Mobley. Miss America 1959 shed some clothing while performing her vocal routine. Miss America protest. In 1968, Women's Liberation hits Miss America as protesters, including the New York radical woman who refers to Miss America as the regretting Miss Liz Booth, girly symbol, take to the Boardwalk, dumpling beauty standards and bras, ghettos, pots and pans, instruments of female torture in the badges. Not actually burning them, as a 1969 Miss America pageant was already fought above its crown, yet underway. During the show, protesters unfurl a band from a balcony that says "Women's Liberation." While the moment isn't captured by the cameras, it becomes a major story. Here's how the Miss America organization describes in the incident on its website. Feminists stormed the broadcast in Atlantic City in their crisis for equal rights. They used Miss America as a symbol for their fight, which encouraged even more change for the Miss America organization. Progress in baby steps. In 1970, Terry's Adriana Brown, Miss Lower, at top left, becomes the first African American contestant. A first, then a scandal. In 1983, Miss New York, Vanessa Williams becomes the first black Miss America shortly before her reigns over in 1984. She is forced to resign because Penthouse magazine published nude photos of her that were taken before she competed. Runner of Miss New Zealand, Suzette Charles takes over for the remaining weeks. In 1994, Heather Weston, Miss America 1995, who is deaf, becomes the first Miss America with a disability. No more bikini ban. In 1997, for the swimsuit portion of competition, Miss America contestants wear one-piece bathing suits on the stage at Boardwalk Hall, at least since bikinis were outlawed as a pageant in 1948. This changed when the pageant dropped its so-called bikini ban on two-piece swimsuits. Controversy over divorce and abortion. In 1999, the Miss America pageant attempts to change its rules after its CEO, Robert Beck, is advised that prohibition against contestants who have previously been married or who have had abortions or have been pregnant may violate state anti-discrimination law. The pageant rolls back the prohibition, but state panelists, unhappy about the change, take legal action so contestants do not have to sign the new national contract. Reigning Miss America Nicole Johnson, the former Miss Virginia and the first Miss America with disability, voiced her opposition to the measure, saying it doesn't conform to the traditional Miss America ideal. Instead of keeping the chains, the pageant drops them along with Beck, the CEO, who sues the pageant for wrongful termination. Another milestone. In 2000, Angela Barraquillo, the Filipino-American Miss Hawaii, becomes the first Asian-American Miss America. In 2004, because of flagging ratings, Miss America is forced to drop the traditional talent portion of its ABC broadcast. True Talent, first made a part of the pageant in the 30s, still features in the competition. Feature is Erica Dunlap, Miss America 2004. Exodus to Las Vegas. In 2006, having left Atlantic City for Las Vegas and ABC for CMT, the pageant becomes a winter affair. Jennifer Berry, at left, is the first Miss America not to be crowned in Atlantic City. In 2007, before she crowns her successor, Jennifer Berry, Miss America 2006, who got engaged during her reign, announced at the 2007 pageant that she'd be getting married when she returns home. In later years, the pageant would seemingly change its directives about contestants getting engaged during their year of service. Back in Atlantic City, in 2013, Miss America becomes a full event again as the pageant returns to Atlantic City with the fanfare, state subsidized and a statue on the boardwalk. Also in 2013, the former Miss New York, Nina Davuluri, becomes the first Indian American Miss America. She performs a Bollywood classical fusion dance on stage at Boardwalk Hall before winning the crown. Davuluri would be the second of three consecutive Miss New York to take the title. In 2013, another first enters the pageant history book as Miss America returns to Atlantic City. Miss Kansas Teresa Vale, who has the Serenity Prayer prominently inked on her torso, becomes the first contestant to show tattoos during competition.